Hey guys, how's it going and welcome back. So we do have an unboxing for you guys today. I went and ordered myself a new scope from D&L Airguns because I kind of needed one. My Sun Optics scope for some reason has a rainbow thing going on it for outlines, different kind of color thing. I have no idea what's going on with that scope, but I had put it on my nitro piston rifle, and I guess, I don't know. I mean, the thing lines up fine, I can shoot fine with it, but it's got this weird coloration thing going on. But anyways, so I have no clue what's happening with it, and I can't find any information on the internet that will help resolve the issue. And of course, there's nothing even from the company that tells me anything either. So I thought, well, I don't want to see this, so I'm going to order a new scope in for the nitro gun. Because the scope on my Benjamin is actually quite good. So I picked myself up this Leapers Utg scope. It's got a 5 yards to infinity, parallax adjustment, all the nice little bells and whistles. Varmint Predator hunting scope, mil-dot rectal. Looks pretty good. What else we got here? Built-in true strength. Premium zero locking, so I can lock it once I've got it set, which is a nice thing because my center point scope, I got to be very careful that I don't knock the turret adjustments because it doesn't lock. And I've had leaper scopes before in the past, and I'm not even sure if I have any of those on my channel. I might. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've done a lot of airgun stuff, and I've gotten back into airguns finally, and not into fixing them other than my own stuff right now, but definitely gotten into shooting again, and I thought, well, I do need some really cool gear, as we all do. Well, looks like we got a manual here. So I do have Picatinny mounts on my nitro gun, and the website doesn't tell you what actual rings come with this scope. So let's see what it's got here. Now, what's pretty crazy about this scope is it actually has 36 different colors. All my other scopes are like either red or green, like I can choose, right? So, and my Sun Optics, I think it's just a red one. So we do have Picatinny mounts. Awesome. Anyhow, I thought, well, I really don't need to choose from 36 colors. I really don't even use the illumination on my scopes. I have no idea where I'd actually find it very useful, to be honest, but hey, whatever. I got them. So these are nice rings. These are double screwed up top, kind of like having two bands but in one. And of course, toolless, which is really nice. I like that. Oh, and they're spring-loaded on top of that. That is really cool. So, nice and stiff. Well, it seems to be some pretty good quality there. So this is a 3x12 adjustable AO. 3x12x40. Now, we should find the battery. It's under here. So, we do have a battery compartment, and there is our batteries. Now, the question is, do we pop in both of them, or do we just pop in one of them? Installing the battery, page 14. So it'll be interesting to see how well this thing does. Okay, so installing the battery. Battery is housed inside the Easy Tap battery housing or the side wheel, depending on your scope. Firmly hold user finger. Verify the battery included with your scope is either a 2032. Yep, that it definitely is. So, do we use just one of these? Remove the old battery. Positive side. This foot, man, facing up. Well, you're not getting two batteries in there, so looks like they give you two batteries. One thing that's a real pain in the neck, and I'm sure everybody would agree when it comes to scopes, is fine threads are a real pain in the neck. Alright. That's kind of cool. So we got red, different levels of red. So the left side green. So basic red and green to start with. That's actually quite cool. Ooh, that is stiff. Well, they definitely want to make sure that stays put. Wow. I think the last scope I had from Leapers was actually a bug buster, if I remember right. I've had a couple of them. Anyways, so we're going to have to get this thing put together and mounted on the gun. And we shall be right back. It'll be instant for you guys, though. Alright, guys, and we are back. So I've got it all mounted up. I gotta be the luckiest person in the world for lining rings up because, yeah, I don't know. But I just mounted the rings on, scope onto the rings, and I chose a spacing that I thought looked really good. And it turns out I got perfect alignment between the slots no matter where I am on the rail. It's like, that's like fluky, I don't know. Anyways, Picatinis are kind of interesting because you got to make sure that, you know, your front and your back rings actually line to the slot. So you have just that little tiny bit of play in between each slot, right? And I got it dead on. I was like, holy cow, that's cool. By the way, whenever you're installing a scope with the, locking the rings down to the scope, don't over tighten these things. You don't need to go crazy with tightness. They just have to be snug, and you got to work the corners. All right, especially when you got 4 screws, you want to work the corners to balance everything out properly. And so you got an even amount of gap on each side of the ring. And that's kind of very important, but just definitely do not over torque or you can squash the tube. And yeah, that won't be covered by warranty. So anyway, so this scope can actually be dialed in as little as 5 yards, which is like flipping amazing, right? I mean, well, to some people it would be. They've been doing it for years, but this one here definitely can go right down to 5 yards, which is really nice. So 5 yards is like 15 feet. I mean, a scope at 15 feet, that's kind of like major cheating. I mean, I could still hit the target without a scope from 15 feet. 15 feet's not that far. But anyways, I usually generally shoot out now around 20 to 30 yards. 30 yards, I'm still getting plenty of power even out of my Benjamin gun. I have no problem popping through targets. I've got these targets called Woodies, prairie dogs. And I tried them out the other day actually on the Benjamin with some RWS super pointed. And I'm going to try them out with this gun too and see if it likes it. But they make such a perfect clean hole, even at 30 yards, of no problem with the Benjamin. So plenty of power there. And I do have a chronograph on its way here, so I will be chroning all of my air guns. So we'll have some videos on that stuff. In the meantime, I've got the scope mounted. Now, I'm a little old school. I don't have, you know, the actual levels for doing this. I eyeball it, and so far I've never actually gone wrong. I'm within such a small margin of error. It's pretty crazy. But what I do anyways is I'll mount the scope up, and I'll look through the scope and holding the gun as evenly as I can, so that it's like vertical, right? Like 90 degrees straight up and down. And I'll look through and I'll take a look at what I would say would be my center line here to the center line of the crosshair, and looking down at it, and get that as close as I possibly can to being completely straight and square. And I got this one really, really, really good. But I am going to double check before I bother to sight it in and everything. I am going to use a laser bore sighter to do that. I love laser bore sighters. They get you really close up because a lot of scopes come preset already at 100 yards. And it's like you don't want to fire off a pellet gun at 20 yards when the scope's already dialed for 100, because it's just your shot's going to be so far out, it's going to drive you nuts. So a laser bore sighter is very handy because you get the beam, like the tip of the laser at the other end of your area. I actually sight them in the house because I have enough distance between where our living room back wall is to the back of the bathroom. I can actually hit that wall enough that I can get within, I would say we're what, about 15, 25, I've got about 35 feet roughly to deal with. So I can get this dialed in pretty good. And then it's just minor adjustments from there for windage and elevation. Because bore sighter, it lines up the crosshairs with the bore, but it doesn't dial in your scope completely. You still have to play around with that, of course, and with different pellets and see which ones are the most accurate. Now, if you don't know about zero locking and resetting scopes, these have rings. And when you turn them clockwise, you actually lock this so they cannot be moved. I wish my center point had this. But that you go counterclockwise, just undo it a couple of turns is all it takes, and then you can move everything. Alright? Now, let's say you're at, well, let's say 13, right? So at 13, you want to go, and you've got the scope dialed in, you're hitting like, you know, nice bullseyes. Then what you do is you just take your Allen wrench here, you unlock this a couple of turns, that's all it takes, and then you just simply lift up until you get the zero lined up with the dot, and then you just tighten this back down just gently. It doesn't take a lot of pressure, just until it stops on its own, and then just a little hairball of a twist is all it takes. Don't force it because you can do damage if you over tighten. And then this way, that is now at zero. So then if you forget to lock this and say you went here, well, you could just easily put it right back to zero. Or if you do have to make changes, you know, because of distance or whatever, you're fine. And then when you twist this back clockwise, a couple of little turns, then it locks it, and you're not going to move that off. So that's great. I've had these scopes before, and I really like them. They're actually a lot of fun. So, but anyway, so far I'm pretty impressed with this thing. Let's go back to the 13. Let's go here. So I gotta unlock this again. Back to zero. But I'm still going to mess around with the colors and stuff on this and see what's up with all that stuff, and we'll have some fun. It's supposed to be nice weather out this weekend, so maybe we'll get outside, do some shooting. Maybe I'll do a video. It's a really nice looking quality scope for leapers. New tech for me though with this whole 36 colors. That's, I don't know, I got red and green down real easy. But you hold down the two of them to get to the next color palette, and then you change from left and right for different things. But it's an interesting scope so far, you know. And if it works out good, I'm actually going to buy another one. And because I ordered another gun today. I love the internet. I'm not telling you what it is. You'll find out soon enough. But if this scope does work out, though, I'm going to order one for the new gun. I do have a scope that'll make do for a couple of weeks. So, but I like how mean that makes the rifle look. That is just really wicked cool. So that's really nice. So far, first impressions, things are looking good. So that's good. I like that. And for those of you wondering where Leapers UTG scopes are made, they are made in China, and there ain't nothing wrong with them. They're very good quality scopes. Like I said, I've had Leaper scopes before. I'm pretty sure you can put any Leaper scope onto a Springer and not have a problem. I've used them on spring rifles, CO2 rifles. Even one time I had a Bug Buster. Love to get another one, but they're out of stock everywhere, you know. But I would really like to get another Bug Buster. When they come back in stock, I think I'm going to get a Bug Buster for my Crossman gun because I think it'll look a little cooler. But in the meantime, this is actually quite nice. I'm liking it. I think I picked right as far as everything goes. Like I said, this one here is 3x12x40. The rings are really nice. I like this tool, this deal here too, because you just snug them right up and they're not going to budge, you know, and very easy. If you need to remove the scope, you can just, you know, unlock it rather quickly. I like the fact they spring loaded this too, so it's not sloppy, you know, kind of thing. So it makes it a lot less frustrating. You just give her a good snug up and that sucker is not going to move. So that's quite cool actually. But anyway, that's all I got for you for this video. Do stay tuned for more. We are going to take this thing out and do some target practice with it, and once we get her dialed in and see how things go with it. So in the meantime, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more, and yeah, see ya.